On August 23rd, we told you of the referendum that the Belize Progressive Party was working on and had promised to have a draft presentation ready for Friday, August 26. It turns out that the document was launched amid the protests that occurred on Independence Hill in Belmopan. The Belize Progressive Party criticized the media in a release issued yesterday for putting more emphasis on what they have described as the sensational spectacle and virtuous performance put on by the PUDP. In addition, the BPP says that they have noticed that the efforts of the church last Friday were hijacked and that it may have slipped by unnoticed that they did launch its efforts towards the people's referendum during the chaos. When we had spoken to the BPP's treasurer, Robert Lopez, he did note that the launch was going to happen.
We want the referendum to be binding. And so if the people vote yes, and we have a majority saying yes, man, referendums need to be binding, otherwise it's an exercise in futility. So that's one of the things we're going to put down here. So we're looking at possibly it's going to be around 10 propositions that we intend to tag on to the ICJ referendum. And that's the whole purpose of this, is to let's gauge the people on different issues, namely ministerial discretion. We think it needs to be repealed. Get rid of it. It's caused too much problems. They need to go to jail instead. They hide behind ministerial discretion. And more are coming in. I'll share one with you that came in yesterday. The repealing or the taking off gill nets, making gill nets illegal, banning of gill nets. Yes or no? Let's people decide. Fishermen might not want it, but the people might want it. So there's several issues, and this is this is the core of participatory democracy. When you allow your people to engage in the decision-making process and not just rule over them like a dictator. It is the first draft. We intend to see many drafts before this is vetted and approved. We intend to get back feedback from the community, from the media, from the churches. We're already in touch with the churches. And so certainly we intend, this is not going to be a 1 week or a 2 week exercise. We're going to see many drafts, but we just feel that we need to put out the first draft and then let's start getting the feedback from the whole nation.
The release says, quote, simultaneously, the effort was also launched online. By way of this undertaking, unlike any other political party in the history of Belize, the BPP wants to hear from you. Throughout the Friday, August 26 occasion, members of the BPP manned a tent where 23 mock referendum questions were polled. Via that effort, we received over 100 hard copy submissions on a variety of issues ranging from the Chief Justice's ruling on Section 53 of the Criminal Code to the legalization of marijuana, as well as the all-important question of whether the GOB should sign the UN Convention Against Corruption, the UNCAC, as well as a number of other salient issues. Additionally, we received the contact information of individuals who are interested in aiding with the actual mock referendum the BPP intends to host nationwide. In this regard, your Belize Progressive Party, BPP, urges Belizeans and true friends of Belize, both at home and abroad, as well as those within the business sector, to not be consumed with the white noise that emanated from the well-entrenched political corruption of the PUDP that, like a choreographed theatrical production, unfortunately became the focal point of August 26th House meeting, nor the unfortunate commotion that occurred outside the House, brought on by some who may have been a bit overzealous. Instead, we call on you to lend your support to the only active political party that has entrenched within its constitution the supremacy of God and is ready, willing, and able to do the work of the people. The PUDP share a symbiotic relationship in which hand wash hand, and in the long run, the scourges of nepotism, cronyism, the mismanagement of the nation's resources, and all-out corruption persists, all at the expense of the people. End of quote. The release ended by appealing to the public for their participation in efforts toward good governance.